Hi guys, my name is Julia Chung. For this presentation of Disruptive Technology, I chose to go with the iPhone. I chose the iPhone because, in my personal opinion, it is the most advanced form of technology that we have. There isn't a small device that has the infinite amount of resources that the iPhone provides. It is definitely the most essential technology device I have in my life. I use it for absolutely everything, especially when I lived in Tucson and I really had to communicate over the phone with my family. And yeah, just day to day, I really do think that it is the most advanced form and has forever changed the way humans function as a whole. So, when we take a look at the iPhone and we really reflect on how it got the reputation and popularity that it did, you would first realize that prior to the iPhone, there was not yet a device created that had been capable of so many advancements. It was touchscreen, it had iTunes, and a camera. And this was the first iPhone that had all of those components in one device. And this device completely altered the mobile industry and the goals and interests of consumers. Other mobile brands were either forced to advance in their technology or go out of business. Um, the cell phone device was always a tool people used to call and message, and that was basically it. And although other phones were capable of more, the iPhone had still been the first to have all of those components. And this really changed the game. So we can look, here's an example of some popular cell phones before the iPhone. As you can see, they look very different and a lot less advanced than the iPhone. See, they have these keyboards, see, they're pretty chunky, the screens are insanely small and do not have the clarity and quality that the iPhone has. I remember one of my first phones was that pink phone on the right hand picture. It was so small I couldn't text on it. I only had a few minutes of calls I could make per month. It was extremely simple, and you really didn't use it unless, well, because of the time, unless it was an emergency, and or unless I just really needed to contact someone for whatever reason. So these are just some examples of what phones were like before the iPhone. So I chose to specifically study the iPhone because it is truly the one form of technology that I cannot live without. It's how I communicate with my family, with my friends, my coworkers, my boss. It's how I get through day to day from start to finish. Um, it really is a miniature and more portable version of a computer. It's crazy. There is nothing that I can't do when I whip out my iPhone. I can take a picture, I can look up the most random facts. The possibilities are endless. And like I said before, it is the first thing I grab when I wake up and the last thing I put down before I go to sleep. It provides me with music to work out, alarms to wake up for class or work, um, search engines for literally any question, like I said before, social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everything. So let's take a look at how this product was developed. Apple designer John Casey had developed the first concept art regarding a touchscreen phone, initially what he called the Telepod. And Steve Jobs later introduced the iPhone on January 9th, 2007, and it was a touchscreen mobile device that included an iPod, web browsing, and a camera, along with the features of being able to text and call, of course, and further applications. And this wide variety of capabilities all in one device had not been introduced yet by other mobile companies. And this had forever imprinted the mobile industry along with human civilization. Everybody wanted the iPhone, and nobody really wanted the other phones that we showed in the last slides because it didn't have all of those capabilities. And so here is just a picture of how the iPhone has evolved since the beginning. There are now iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 Plus, all the way up to 12. Now there's an X. There's so many different type of iPhones, each with a new advancement, a new, better camera connection. The list goes on. If you look in these pictures, you can also see that the screens are getting larger while the iPhone itself is getting way thinner. It's getting lighter, easier to, store, and just all of these advancements you could even see from the first iPhone that had one tiny camera to the last one all the way at the end now has three different huge ones. It's just so advanced. And it's actually so crazy because I can't even remember the last time I've physically seen the first iPhone. So we can take a look at the ramifications of an iPhone, of course. With every really great thing, there are always going to be some negatives about it. And some of the negatives are that the use of iPhones may be dangerous in terms of radiation. Radiation is deathly to humans, and the amount we are using it can really affect us in the long term. A second is that iPhones are very expensive. They're very costly. I know every time I get a new phone, I have to upgrade my plan. I have to get more gigabytes or storage, and it is all very costly. Um, Thirdly, iPhones are very distracting. Due to this fact, it can often cause car accidents, some even resulting in extreme harm, even death. And lastly, it's an addiction. More often than not, people, including me, I'm completely guilty of it, are addicted to their phones. And as we know, too much of anything is not healthy. This addiction can often lead to eye stress, sleep loss, unproductivity, communication issues, etc. So, So moving into future impact, there are over 12 different versions of the iPhone, like I said before, each advancing in camera and audio quality, connection, speed, application uses, flashlights, etc. These advancements may cause future setbacks for all industries. The more the iPhone can do, the lesser need for other resources. The iPhone is capable of calling, texting, video chatting. It has a camera, a web browser, flashlight, health applications, music, television, all other entertainment. So many apps, it's completely endless. With the future will only come more advances with the iPhone, and this growth will ultimately affect the demand for other products and resources. Every time an iPhone comes out, it is somehow better, more advanced, and we are over 12 iPhones in. I can't even imagine what is ahead of us and what is ahead for Apple. The future really is so unknown, but we know it's going to affect all industries. And so, here are some questions to ask yourself. that will just kind of bring you to the perspective that I'm at. When you need a flashlight, do you pull one out or of your cabinet, or do you use your iPhone? I know I use my iPhone. When you're at a special event, do you bring your camera or take pictures and videos using your iPhone? No, I don't even have a camera anymore because I just use my phone. And lastly, when you lack access to a desktop computer, do you email on your phone real quick or do you run home to send one? I personally have never done that, and I email mostly from my phone most of the time anyway. So, yeah, that pretty wraps up my presentation on the iPhone and how it is disruptive technology. For me personally, this is the most important form of technology in my life, and I really couldn't picture living without it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed my presentation, and thank you for watching.